Hello, this is Ryan, also known as MrMightyMcD, and I'm going to give my thoughts and feelings on the Driver San Francisco single-player demo. So I haven't played a driver game in a long while, and a decent driver game hasn't come out for a while either, and I think the last one I played was Driver 3 on the PlayStation 2, and that was alright, but I always preferred Driver 1, I didn't play Driver 2. But anyway, Driver San Francisco and Driver's franchise is back, and if I'm honest, from playing this demo, I don't really miss it that much, if I'm honest. There's a lot of stuff in this demo for just 700 megabytes. You got 3 modes of play. You got one where you take control of the suspect's car and do tricks off trucks and all kinds of stuff before getting the driver arrested. There's a second one where it's basically a race but with a twist, where you have to come first and second, controlling 2 different drivers. And the third is the mode I'm playing right now, which is pretty much escaping from the cops. Now, I don't show off here in the gameplay, but the best thing about Driver San Francisco is probably the way you can control other cars. You simply press the A button and move the cursor, highlight a certain vehicle, and bam, you're driving a new vehicle, like a Porsche or a truck or even a bus. And it comes up with the stats on the side, and it's really, it's a nice idea and a mechanic that I really like, and it works well. Especially with the second mode, which is the race where you have to come first and second, because you have to switch and control between 2 different drivers, because the AI isn't bad, but you got to take control of the wheel to make sure it doesn't slip. When there's only a few seconds left, it becomes really intense. The whole switching vehicles thing, it's sort of an original idea, and it's pretty cool, and you see it in some shooters and action games. I think Mindjack, a game that came out earlier this year, which is terrible, by the way, had some sort of switching bodies or some kind of thing. But you don't usually see these things in this kind of mechanic in a driving game, and here you see it, and it works pretty well, actually. But aside from that, I hear some interesting things, some original things with Driver San Francisco's multiplayer, which a demo should be coming out soon, because they got a single-player demo I'm playing right now. It would make sense to have a multiplayer alongside it. But aside from that, there isn't really a whole lot special from Driver San Francisco. I mean, well, from playing the demo. I understand the game is going for this kind of like cheesy, over-the-top action film drama, by the way it's presented and the dialogue. But it's just really bad, like really bad. It's probably worse than Just Cause 2. Well, Just Cause 2 wasn't bad. It was just more the voice acting that was pretty bad. But like you escape the cops, and like your passenger will go, "Oh, let's get a milkshake." It's just not funny at all. Like you can come up with stuff, much better stuff than that. I mean, come on now. It doesn't help either that the game looks pretty bad. I mean, when I was playing the chase sequence right here, I was just thinking to myself that Need for Speed Most Wanted, which came out in 2006, I think, on the 360 or 2007 or something like that, looked much better than this, really, or a little bit better at least. There's some pretty good CGI in here, some really good facial animation, but the environments and the cars, they all look dated, and it just feels like an old game. Like the way it plays, like the cars skate around the road, they aren't the best to control. And I appreciate the developers are doing something different with the controls. Like you'll pull up on the left stick to use your nitro instead of holding A or X button, like Burnout or Need for Speed. But it just isn't practical, and you'll do it by mistake, and it's really annoying. So Driver San Francisco, it seems from playing the demo, the kind of game that has a lot to do in it, but with not a whole lot of polish. They just seem to pack as much as they can to keep you playing, but ultimately it just isn't that fun, and the story isn't even that good. And I understand they're going for an old school feel, something arcadey, and some of the mechanics, like switching from the vehicles and all that kind of stuff, is pretty good, but the game isn't ultimately that fun. I mean, it should be more like an Outrun or a Need for Speed or something like that. But anyway, from playing the demo, I'd say you should try and give it a go, but don't expect much fun from Driver San Francisco, and let's hope the multiplayer demo is a lot better.